the anti-libidinal ego can become really powerful within us. And the way that it manifests is like, for example, we could be thinking about doing something like maybe going somewhere or engaging in activity, and the anti-libidinal ego will create reasons like why we shouldn't do that. And it can be quite compelling because it's really easy for us to talk ourselves out of things. And because of not having the feeling, motivation, and the personal drive to do those things, quite often we can just end up just not doing anything. Additionally, because we live in our heads and we engage in a lot of thought, creative thought, or just thought and imagination, maybe theorizing, it depends, but we're quite mentally active. It's easy for us to get caught up in the idea of doing things without actually making the move to make that thing a reality. It's also easy for us to envision something as not being enjoyable before we do it, and using that as a reason not to go out and engage with the physical world. So you can see how we could really get like stuck in our heads, or just really not feel any reason to engage in activities because the feeling just isn't there. With the anti-libidinal ego, I think that the main thing is to recognize when it's taking hold, and to realize that it is really just our defenses that are making us feel that maybe like becoming more active and engaged in the external world isn't worthwhile. Some people are actually conscious of the safety element, and so they may actually feel that going out and exploring the world, especially socially, is unsafe. And sometimes that isn't really true. I think the main thing is to identify when there is like a valid reason not to take action on our thoughts, and when we're not taking action on our thoughts because the anti-libidinal ego is coming into play and deterring us. So I've found that there's times when I've looked ahead at an event or an activity, and I haven't had any real desire to engage in it, or I thought that for some reason that there's no point, or it's not going to be worth my while, or it's not going to be particularly pleasurable. So, it's not really worth following through with. However, I have found that when I actually do engage in the same actions that I previously thought were going to be just really a bad idea, that those actions aren't really so bad, that they're all right, that there have been things that I have been able to glean from the situation, even if it's just like information or something sort of educational, something that I can take away that teaches me something about life. And sometimes they can be kind of all right, like, not bad, like kind of all right, There's like, I'm not going to say fun because I don't really relate to that. But of course, sometimes they can be funny, like funny things can happen, and there can be humour to be gained from interaction with life. And then also there's the other side, that some things could be potentially beneficial in other ways, like in financial ways, or in some way there's some like hidden gain that I didn't really foresee, because my anti-libidinal ego was trying to hold me back from engaging in that thing.